So after scaling down my work EDC and rotating through a couple sling bags already, I think I've officially entered my sling bag era again. First, it started with downsizing to the ADD1D Kangaroo Sling when I was at Disneyland from a sling bag that I was carrying initially. Then I went to the elite version of that bag, and now I have this bag here for my scale down my carry experiment. I decided to pull this oldie but goodie and favorite of mine, which is the Alpaca Go Sling Multicam Black Edition. And honestly, this might be one of the cleanest rotations yet. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mikey. This is Mikey Daily Carry. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we talk about everyday carry gear, preparedness, and practical setups for real life. Now, if you've been following my recent videos, then you already know that I've been scaling down intentionally for my work carry setups. I started by downsizing during my Disneyland trip, literally the day after, because what I was carrying was too much and I didn't need a massive loadout, and you guys said that in the comments. Thank you very much. Then after that, I rotated into the ADD1D Kangaroo Sling and the Elite version. And honestly, I really enjoyed how much lighter those were, but instead of treating those slings as the final answer, I wanted to continue the rotation through my sling bags because I have a bunch, and I wanted to revisit some of my own favorites. And honestly, I really like what I've been doing with scaling down my carry and being able to use almost every single pocket every single day when I use these bags. And I wanted to continue rotating through my sling bags I already own because I own a bunch, and keeping that mindset of being practical, being streamlined, and being built around what I actually use every single day. Now, that brings us to sling rotation number 3, and this is the Alpaca Go Sling Multicam Black limited edition. What's funny is this is actually a sling I reviewed years ago, and I'll link the original video down below, and along with my Alpaca link, I'm an affiliate for Alpaca. I also have a discount code for them. I think it's 15%. I'll have that down below. And like I'd said in the beginning, back then I kind of started with sling bags before I scaled into backpacks, but then I'm back again. And I appreciate it because it helps me stay disciplined with my carry. Everyday carry is not a one-size-fits-all. You got to go through the motions sometimes to figure out what works. Lately, I've just been having a realization that I need to be honest with myself with what I bring and carry to work because I need to use my stuff. Now, one thing I've really noticed during this whole process is that different sling bags fit different moods and workflows. The ADD1D bags felt very lightweight and straightforward, but the Alpaca Go Sling feels a little more refined and structured while still staying compact. It still gives me enough organization for my tech, daily essentials, and office carry without turning into another overloaded backpack. And that's really been the whole goal behind this series. Carry smarter instead of carrying more. Focus less on the what if items and more on the gear that I truly interact with every single day. Now, unfortunately, this exact Multicam Black version was a limited release, so finding this specific sling on Alpaca's site, you're not going to have any luck unless someone sells it on their after site where owners go up there and sell it. But they do have a lot of other alternatives that I will also link down below. Better materials, better organization, and it's definitely worth a look. Again, a disclosure, I am an affiliate for Alpaca. My thoughts and opinions are my own. I don't get paid to make these videos. These are truly just how I feel as someone that rocks their gear. So let's talk about materials and build quality of this bag. One thing Alpaca consistently does well is making bags that feel modern and clean without looking overly tactical. Even in Multicam Black, this sling still blends into everyday life really well. You can use it at the office, you can bring it to the coffee shop, use it to run errands, you can travel with this bag, or just your daily commutes. It just works. And honestly, for a bag that's been sitting in my collection for years, The materials have held up extremely well. The structure still feels very solid. The zipper still feels super smooth. And it reminded me of why I like this sling so much in the first place, other than being a Multicam Black sucker. So let's talk about how I loaded this out. Again, I'm not going to go over the exact details of this bag because I did do a review of this bag in the past, but just a real quick overview before I go over my loadout items. You got a pocket here in the front. It's AquaGuard zippers. You also have YKK zippers all throughout this bag. You have a compartment here. You have your main channel compartment. You have a back compartment. You have a grab handle right here. And then you have this sling with a padded shoulder strap. And you have a magnetic feature here for the quick release. So if you have this on your shoulder, you just use that feature there to slide that off, and then it just magnetizes back like so. Really easy. I like that feature, especially getting in and out of the car. I don't have to use a clip or a carabiner to undo it. It's just a real quick slide off, and then when I get back in the car, boom, slide that back on. On this side, you have a little tether point, which you guys can see here. I have my trusted hero clip. I also have the same on this other side. Now, if you want to use this bag more so of like a brief type, you can take the straps off with that quick release right there. There's also another quick release on that side as well. And now you have just this here. So let me do my loadout without the strap. Set that aside. So starting off with the front. On the front side, this is going to be my hygiene section. That's where I have two compartments here. Alpaca always has some form of key tether that's on here as well. I don't have the keys on here right now. They're hanging inside the house. So in here, I have hand sanitizer. First of all, honeycomb high-vis orange, huge plus for me. And then I also have some lotion, Cetaphil lotion. I got some Advil. Over on this side, I got some toothpicks. I got some Element. If you guys want to sponsor me, you know, I love your guys' stuff. If you guys watch this video, check that out. Pure gum, and in here I have some wisps as well. And that's pretty much what I have inside. You just have two dividers, pretty big. You got one right here, one right here. Pretty much goes to the bottom of the bag. Now, let's take a look at the middle compartment. So when you open this up, boom, it doesn't open full clamshell, because if it does, all your stuff is just going to fall out. But in here, you have, so I don't have my iPad in here right now, but my iPad 11 Pro with the Magic Keyboard fits in here flush, no problem. I can zip it up, unzip it, no issues whatsoever. So in here, you have your main cavity. On the back side, you just have the sleeve, which is also felt line for your iPad. And then on the front, right here, you have this mesh pocket where, let me unzip this real quick. I have my DJI Mic 2 microphone. I also have my Rode wireless micro microphone. And then over on the side, I have my Anchor wall mount, and that has the two USB-Cs with the one USB-A fast charging. And then you have two pockets, right, two large pockets, kind of similar to the ones in the front, on the front flap side. And on one side, I have my Anchor power bank, which I show in a lot of my videos, USB-C that's attached to this, but it also has a USB-C plug right there. And a little plus is the Apple Watch charger. And then on the other side, I have my Civivi Partake. So this is utensils, because if I'm ever out and about, I don't have any utensils near me. This has come in handy so many times. Knife, fork, spoon, bottle opener, all in this one handy dandy configuration, and it just looks like that, super small. And then it goes in its own wax canvas case. Boom, super easy to wash as well, stainless steel. And then I have my DJI Osmo Nano. Really like this camera here. I have this variable ND filter, has 5 stops, but this also comes off. Boom. You know, I've used this as a a couple of my traveling videos. I've also used it as a B cam sometimes. Really like that camera. I have a small little Right in the Rain notebook that I have in here that I use for work. And then I have a USB-C to USB-C fast charging 240 watt cable. And that's pretty much everything that I have inside of the bag. Again, high-vis orange, really love that. Now, on the back side, I have my 2 Data Crew side fries. So I have this as my ouchie boo boo. I have a bunch of band-aids in here. On the other side, I have everything that has to deal with dressing, along with some nitrile gloves. And I got some scissors in there. I got some medical tape in there. And then I have all the band-aids on the back side, all different types and sizes. Now, this is my Leatherman extension accessory toolkit. What do I mean by that? Well, on my hip, I always wear the Leatherman Arc, favorite multi-tool that I have. But in here, I also have the Leatherman Skeletool. And what I mean by accessory kit is I have things that attach to the flat end of the Leatherman tools to really enhance the experience of the multi-tool and show you guys what I mean by that. And I will show this in a couple videos, but this is a Skeletool, my very first Leatherman tool that I ever owned. So right here, you have a flat end where you can put, let's say, the bit extender, right? You can put the bit extender and it works with their flat bits. That also comes in the bit kit, which I have the bit kit in here. But a company that I also work with that goes by 711L Tools has these flat end bits that you can use that go right into the ports of the Leatherman tools. So like, say for example, this is a 1/4 inch bit driver, right? Or it can act as one. More so this is actually the bits that I have in here too. So say for example, I want to use that, right? Well, this is a 2-in-1 because if I drop this, boom, now it becomes a 1/4 socket. See what I'm doing here now? Okay, so you got your, push that up for your 1/4 inch bits, push it down to expose that socket. This specific tool itself doesn't have a ratcheting feature. It just has those two. However, their tools work with one another, okay? So this right here is the inline ratchet tool that just got sent to me. And what I really like about this is, say for example, I put this into the Leatherman tool, and as you can see here, it has that ratcheting feature. My light just went out. Let me turn this back on. Back in action. So I was going over the 711L ratchet inline tool, but what's also cool about it is that it works in tandem with their other tools, because say for example, this 2-in-1 socket, they only have a socket feature and that 1/4 inch extender feature. But if you add this to one of their ratchet tools, you can actually use that socket to now have a ratcheting feature for it. That's super awesome. This is also one of the new tools that they sent me. It's their EDC Flex Head ratchet wrench, because they also sent this ratchet wrench, and this is the first one that they sent me. But the difference is you can change the positioning of the head on this. On here, you can't. You have to stay stationary like so. But on here, if I want to hit an angle where I want to get into a position where I'm not upright, and maybe I want to change and cant that up so that way I can get into the nooks and crannies, I can do so. That's pretty neat. Even go into a 45-degree angle, which is kind of weird. Then you use this to change the rotation, and then this button here allows you to flip that way, this way, or just keep it upright. I think with this and this, along with this, you're all set. These are the 3 things that I think you need for your Leatherman, especially if you have that flat end adapter, and you're good to go. And then even if you want to extend this thing, It works also with the original Leatherman extender. So now you have a longer tool and you can get into those nooks and crannies. That's what I have in my Leatherman accessory pouch, which is the side fry in X-Pack. I also did videos about this. I'll make sure I link that in the description down below. There's also the bit kit that came with this, and all these are compatible with one another. So you can really elevate that Leatherman multi-tool experience. Back to the bag though. So honestly, this whole scale down series has been helping me rethink my relationship with everyday carry. Not every bag needs to carry your entire life. Sometimes a smaller setup like this actually improves your experience because it forces you to stay intentional. And right now, rotating through sling bags for work has genuinely been making my daily carry feel more practical and realistic again. So definitely expect more of these sling rotations to come soon because I have a bunch and they're still sending me more, and more focus on gear that actually supports day-to-day life instead of looking cool on camera and carrying a ridiculous bag where you don't use half the stuff, if not all the stuff that you pack into that. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure you share with a friend who probably just overpacks too much and might want to scale down a little bit. But also, comment down below, what does your current EDC setup look like? Because I truly would love to know. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Wakpa!